Hello friends, welcome back to Adike's InfoTech channel. Today is IICS Day 2 session. So in this session, we are going to discuss about source and target load and in different types. Okay. First one is source DB to target as a DB, and second is source as DB to target flat file, and third is source flat file to target as DB, and fourth one is source flat file to target flat file. So these are the four scenarios which we can see scenarios in real-time projects. So yesterday we have discussed right one-to-one mapping which has DB to DB load. So that I'm not going to cover in this session. So today we will see about source as a DB and we'll load into a flat file target. Okay. So for this I'm taking source table trans details. Let's go back to the Oracle. So here I'm going to take this table name. Okay, this is the table which I'm having related to sales related data. Okay, we have here transaction IDs we have and item type and sales channel, whether it is a offline or online, and we have order priorities, order date, order ID, shipment date, what are how many units has been sold, what is that each unit price, unit cost, and what is the total revenue and total cost, and at the end the total profit. So what we're gonna do is now we will take this source table and we'll try to load into a flag file. Okay, so I'm going back to IICS, log into IICS, create a mapping here. So I'm gonna name it as m underscore source db2 flat file, right? Source db target table. Okay, so I'm gonna store this mapping in dev project. So now let's take source, go to source, take the connection name, it is in source. Okay, you can take any one source, Oracle source or source, both having only source schema. Okay, so here I'm just taking source type as single object, and we will discuss about multiple objects and query and parameter as well. Okay, let's go with single object now. Select. So the table name is trans details, right? I'm checking this. So if you want to preview data, we can preview data. As I said yesterday, this is how we will troubleshoot each mapping in IICS. So these are all the fields coming from the source. Now let's take one expression. Just we will take this expression as pass through only. We are not going to filter or we are not going to convert anything, any some basic data cleansing operation we are not doing here. So all are passed through only. These are the incoming fields. Okay, let's take target. So here what I want to do, I want to load this as a file. Okay, so here target is flat file, right? So I'll just take flat file as a target connection type, and it's a single object. Select. So what I'll do, I'll just create a new file at runtime. Okay, what I'll do is mapping name is source db target laptop. Okay, so I'll just keep it as .csv format. Click on this. Okay, so here if you see the operation insert, it all disabled because it is a flat file. If you see target fields also, you will not get it. Since it is a flat file, we don't have to map any columns. So let's save it. So now you see the mapping is valid now. So it is best to create a task every time whenever you are going to run the mapping. So because if you practice now itself, it will be easy for you in real time projects. Okay. Go to new task, mapping task, create, leave this as empty underscore source db target platform. So choosing dev location, select your runtime environment and select the mapping. So this is the one which we have created now. So this is how the image will look like. Click on next, just save it. So if you see the mapping task has been validated. So now let's run the job and where we are storing that and all information we should be given in the it should be available in a here target, right? We have defined here target. So ff target file, this is a target file directory path. Okay, this while creating the connection itself we have given the target file location, right? So there the file will be created. So let's run this. Go to my jobs. Here you can see the status of your all your jobs. So if you see total 100 records has been processed. Let's check in the source. So we have 100 rows, right? So let's check in the target as well. So if you see, this is the path which I have given. This is the file, right, which we have created now. Let's open this. So you can see we have loaded. So these are all the details we got from the source and we have loaded in a flat file. Okay. So this is one scenario. And the next is source as a flat file to the target DB. I'm taking sales report. This is in a .txt file. Okay. So from this two, I will be loading into the target table. Let's check sales report. You see here in the source files. This is a report. So this is a file which I have, which has a transaction details. We have transaction ID, product name, quantity, and quantity sold. What is the price of each product, and store ID, city, country. So we have here total 20 we have. Let's load this into the table. Okay. So before that, let me, we can create in runtime as well. Runtime we will create so the next one is go to new mapping, create. So mapping name will be m underscore source flat filter target db. Okay. So here source is a flat file, right? So I'll select flat file, single object, select the file name. This is the file, right? Sales underscore report. and we have to whenever we upload this file, right, we need to select the formatting options, whether it is a delimited. If it is a delimited file, we have to select it is a comma, right? So you can see here it's a comma delimited file. We have comma here. In place of comma, we can see, we in place of comma we can see f hash, we can see dollar, or we can see pipe symbol and comma. Okay, as well as space also we can see in real time scenarios. So where whatever the delimited they have mentioned in the file, that you need to be select in the formatting options. So here I have selected it as a comma. So the first data row should be import from row 1. So if you want field names, you can import from 1, or else you can import from 2. Okay. So we have selected source. What are the fields? These are the fields, right? So I'll take expression here just to pass all the columns. So we got all the incoming fields. Okay. From here to target. Here what I do, in the target schema, I need to create a table. Okay. Select. If you don't have the tables, you can create a trend tab. Just give the table name t underscore. So I will be creating a table like this in the target schema. So if you see here, it is insert, the operation is disabled because it will create while runtime only. So we don't have to map any columns here. If we have this table in the target schema, then we need to map the fields. Okay, now save it. So it is valid now. Let's create a mapping task. T underscore source flat file to target TP. Select the mapping which we have created. Next, save it. So let's run the mapping now. Then go to my jobs. You'll see here. So in sales report, we have almost 21 records. Let's see, 21 rows should be processed. So it got successfully loaded. Let's check in the target. So let's start from what is the table name? P underscore sales report. Okay. So if you see here, we have loaded from flat file to table. So these are all the records. So total how many? 21 rows. Okay. So we have loaded this one. The next one is source flat file to target flat file. So for this, I'm taking employee data, which is a CSV file. Okay. So which is source? This is the employee data. So we have here these many columns: employee ID, first name, last name, job ID, salary, manager ID, and department ID. Okay. So let's flat file, right? So what we'll do, we'll try to filter some data here. Okay. Where let's say where salary is greater than 10,000, or if department ID is equal to 100, that we need to be loaded into a flat file. Okay. Or for each department, we need to load into a different file. So there are so many scenarios are there. You can just play with the data. Okay. So as of now, I'll just give you only one scenario You can try different scenarios based on this data. Okay, let's say uh, files based on department ID equal to 100. Okay, so I'll be creating I'll be pulling the data from source. From all these records I'll be pulling, and I'll be creating a file with where department ID equal to 100. Okay, I'll just load only department ID equal to 100 data into a flat file. You can for practice, what you will do, you can create based on department ID or based on salary. Okay, and if you want manager ID, you can create, but uh, here if you see there are very limited data we have on the manager ID, so you can practice this. So where department ID equal to uh, 90, 60, 30, and so on. You can create multiple files. Okay, and when it comes to salary greater than 10,000, or where salary is greater than 5,000, so you can practice these too. Okay, let me know in the comment section whether you are able to achieve these two scenarios. Okay, so I'll be showing this department ID equal to 100. So I'll be giving this as exercise. Please try to do this. Okay, so this is source file that I'm removing. Okay, now let's go back to IICS, create a mapping m underscore yes flat file target flat file. Okay, source is flat file, right? Go to source, select source flat file, select the data, select the file. What is that file name? Employee underscore data, right? Employee underscore data, CSV file. So here, this is a CSV file, right? So what we can do here, we can just leave it as a comma. Okay. If you want, if you have any doubts here, you can just click on this preview button. If it is showing the data correctly, then we are good to go. So here what you can see, cannot get data preview for the selected connection and object. Please verify connection and object. Invalid header line, empty column name found. So what we have see, this is a CSV file, right? But what we have done here, let's check this. What is the property of this file? It's a CSV only. Okay, but it is in Excel format, right? So what we will do, directly we cannot load CSV files. Okay, so for this we have to, what we have to do, we need to parse the data. Okay, or else let's do one thing. So I will be taking this in a text file, employee details. It should be source files. This is the file. So we have this. Let's take this. So employee details. Let's go to file. We have a tab as a delimited for this. So let's review the data here. Now we are getting the data correctly, right? So done. So these are all the fields we have. I'll just add expression and the scenario which I'm explaining here is department ID equal to 100, right? So what I'll do, I'll just take one filter transformation. So these are the incoming fields, right? Department ID, employee ID, filter. I'm filtering on department ID equal to 100. Okay, then I'm loading into the target. So target is also flat filled, right? So I'll create a runtime. So this is employee data based on department ID 100. Okay, dot CSV. Click on OK. Save it. If you want to validate this, whether you are getting the exact only 100 department ID records, what you can do, just click on this filter. You can preview the data here itself. Let's run the preview. Run preview. So it should give us the exact result. So this is how you need to troubleshoot in IICS. Then and there itself you will come to know whether the mapping we have designed is correct or not. Whether you have applied the business logics and you are getting the final output as per the business requirement. So this is how many records we have, only 6 records. So let's see, 6 records should be loaded into the target, right? Let's create a mapping task now. Empty underscore source flat file to target flat file, right? Mapping. Let's see. Next, save it. So our mapping task is valid now. Let's run the job. So go to my jobs. So how many records we have seen there in the filter transformation? 6, right? So we got the 6 records. Let's check in the target file directory. So this is the file, right, which we have created. Yeah. See, we got 6 records. So this is how we can create in the target. Okay, source as a flat file and target as a flat file. So we covered all these four scenarios, and we do have many. Let's see, if you go to source here, here you can see a single object, right? And we do have, in case of flat file, we have a file list option, and we have a command option, and we have a parameter. So file list is nothing but if we want to load multiple files from source, okay, and you need to load it into a single target table. So at that time, we will be using file list concept. In Power Center, we call it as a indirect file method, right? So here, they named it as a file list. And using command also, we can do this. I'll just show you one in create mapping. So in the source, let's take source as a DB. If it is DB, we have a multiple objects and query. Let us just try this multiple objects, okay? So multiple object is nothing but the two tables should have a relationship. Okay, let's say uh, in the source we have a transaction details, right? So for each transaction details, the primary key should be present, and to this related to this table, some kind of information. Let's say for this transaction ID, what we have details here, we don't have city or country details, right? If we create city or country, let's go and create. Okay, create table. What we can say country to France details. Okay, so it should have a reference key, right? Let's say here country ID. Country ID is a number of let's say 5 is a foreign key, and we have a country vector too. Yeah. So before that, the trans ID should be primary key. Okay, let's check. So we don't have any primary keys right on this table. So what I'll do, I'll just trans ID. I'll just create trans ID as a primary key. So this is how we need to alter the table. Alter table trans the table name. Add primary key to the trans ID. Okay. Let's say I have altered this. Let's check again. So if you see here, trans ID is a not null. Okay, constraint now. So what I'll do, I'll just so for this table, I'll be creating foreign key on the country ID. So I have just added a foreign key on country ID column. Okay, and for this reference is trans details table. Trans ID is a primary key. So this is how I have created. Okay. Yeah, I have already created. Let's check this table now. So if you see here, country ID is a vector and it is a not null column. Okay. You want to check here, you go here. Check this country trans details. So if you see, we don't have any data here. Just click on this SQL. So reference is on trans details. it is enabled. So country ID, it is a foreign key. Country ID is a foreign key now. Okay, this is how you need to check. You can check here the constraints. We have a foreign key, and this is a trans detail. This is a reference table name, trans details. So status is in constraint type is foreign. So now what we'll do, we'll insert into table values. So country ID, if you see here, you should give the exact names, okay, transaction ID names. So for one, here how many transaction IDs we have? We have unique transaction IDs, okay. So we need to create 100 country names. So instead of that, I'll just create like 10 to 20 names. India. So these many records I have created, 20 records, and I have created it. Now let's see. So let's start it. So these are the country names we have for each country ID. Okay. So now what we'll do, we'll fetch the records, all these records, okay, along with the country name. Okay, along with the country name. So we'll get only till 20 we'll get. Okay, let's try that one. So I have taken multiple objects here. Add source object. Multiple object is nothing, it's like a join condition. But here we can do multiple joins as well, but it will become hectic. So for that purpose, we can use the joiner transformation instead of creating all these at source side. Okay. So what is the table name? Trans details, right? Trans details. This is the first table, the primary table, and I'm adding related objects. Okay, it will automatically fetch, so we don't have to search for the exact related objects. So if we have the primary key foreign key relationships in your schema, it will automatically fetch the related object. Okay, this is the one, right? Country trans details. Click on this. Okay, so you can see the condition as well here. Trans details dot trans ID equal to country trans details dot country ID. So it automatically give return the relationship condition as well. So if both the condition are matching, then it will get the return the data. So if it is not matching, obviously when you try to add the related objects, it will not show. If it is showing, then this logic it will informatically it will write. Okay. So what we'll do now, so we have the source, right? So we'll take one expression, and in target, how we want to create, let's say if it is a flat file, if it is a target, it should be truncate unload, right? We need to create the target table. Now what we'll do, we create a target, okay, and then you can see underscore trans details with country, okay. Now let's save it. So let's give the mapping m underscore. This is source has a multiple object, right? Source multiple object and target DB. Okay, let's save it. Create mapping task. Empty underscore source multiple object target DB. Select the mapping. Next, save it. So as you can see, the mapping task is validated. Let's run. So it should give a file with the country details. So we got 19 records. Since we have inserted only 20 records right into the table, so we got 19 records. We refresh e underscore title customer. Okay. So as you can see, till 20 we have inserted, so it fetched only 20 records. So you can see the country ID and the country names as well. Okay. So this is how you can do source as a multiple object. So this is how we have to do the source as a multiple objects. And we do have option called query, right? Let's try that as well. Create mapping. So we have seen single object and multiple objects, and let's try with query. So here query it's nothing but it's like filter option. If you want you can write here itself the query. If you want to filter the records or if you want to load only particular records into the target table, you can write. Let's say so. So this is the table, right? Let's say we want to load only wherever the sales channel is online. We want to load only the online records, okay, into the target. Load online into one target, offline into another target. So for that, what we can do, select sales channel from where sales channel equal to online. So let's check here. So this is sorry, select. So wherever online is there, so that many records only it will fetch, right. If you count here, we have 50, 50 online channels and 50 offline channels. So what if we write the same query here in a query mode? I'll just paste it. Let's validate. The query is validated. Here if you see, you need to observe one thing. Instead of star, you need to mention all the column names. It is always better to mention all the column names. Okay. If you don't mention the column names here, the performance might degrade. Okay, the performance will degrade while running the job. So if you mention all the column names, type to fetch the data, then the performance will increase. If you want it, you can review the data here itself. So we have got right. It will show only limited data. You don't worry. It will not fetch all the. It's like a sample. Okay, sample data only it will show. So we got all the online, right? So the query which we have written is correct. So it's working fine. Click on OK. So it's a query mode. Source as a query mode. Okay. Give expression. The target. We can select the targets which we have created now, right? What is that? T underscore translator country. No, this will not work because it has a new column, right? Let's clear. Trans details with what is that? Save channel online. Save it. So let's give the mapping name m underscore source query target delete. So I'll create the mapping task for this. Okay, this is the mapping task name. Select the mapping now. Next. Save. So what it has to do, it should load only the online sales channel records. Okay. So we got some errors. Let's see when it. So identifier is too long. Okay, the table name which we have given it is same. It's too long. So what we'll do? Just to give transaction details online. That's it. Yes. Save it. So in the mapping task, what you have to do, just go back and just select again. Okay, go next. Yeah. It is always better to give the table names in a limited. Okay, instead of giving the large table name, just give according to the result. So see, now it got succeeded. Let's check in the target here. So what is the table name? This is right. Transaction details. So we got 50 records. If you see here, so we got 50 records where sales channel equal to online. So this is not created. Yeah. So this is how we can load uh, the source having different options, right? So in this way we can make use of these source types. So far we have discussed all these things, right? I hope you guys understood all the scenarios, and this is for practice. Please try to uh, create mappings on this salary 10,000 or salary greater than 10,000 and salary greater than 5,000, and create multiple files where department ID equal to 10, 60, 30. You should create different targets or different file names. Okay, to the department ID. So that's it, guys. This is all about day 2 in IICS. Thank you so much for watching my videos. Please do subscribe, like, and share it with your friends. If you like this video, please let us know in the comment section. Thank you, guys. We'll catch up in the next session. Bye.